This is Richard Thorndike with BS News for this, the 29th of July, the final Friday in the era of the United States being a financially sound first world country. Ever. And away we go! Dateline dancing on the ceiling. The news this week was dominated by the battle over the debt ceiling, a contest so unnecessary, so pointless, and so unpopular that experts are shocked, I tell you, that it wasn't carried live on ESPN2. As of a few moments ago, Speaker of the House John Boehner was still trying to find the votes to pass his debt ceiling bill. An unusual situation for Boehner, who spends most mornings trying to find where he parked his car the night before. Dateline, a whole other country. New census numbers show that now only 16% of Americans live in rural areas, the lowest number ever. The population decline makes it harder for rural areas to provide basic services. Though on the upside, it would seem to rule out the danger of a sequel to the Dukes of Hazzard movie. Dateline, cave persons. A new study says Neanderthals may have gone extinct because modern humans simply outnumbered them and crowded them out. The new theory is based on population density studies and a bunch of angry Neanderthal op-eds complaining that, quote, modern humans are coming here and stealing our jobs. Finally, Dateline, Daily Double Trouble. Jeopardy game show host Alex Trebek was injured this week while chasing a burglar at a hotel in San Francisco. The burglar got away, and police are continuing to search for answers. This case is especially hard in that the answers have to be phrased in the form of a question. WTF, Alex? I'm Richard Thorndike, BS News. Beer o'clock just moments away. The third world just after that. Good luck, you'll need it.
Seriously. And you know, because it's almost beer o'clock for me, you remember what happened in the Minnesota when they couldn't collect the taxes from the liquor because the government was shut down? So then all of a sudden you couldn't get the beer in the bar. If that happens, all bets are off. See, then I'll start talking Cedar Side talk. Then I'll be, this is really, that's my, threshold for pain. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do when I go home is I'm going to get the Spaten Optimator. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to start playing Dancing on the Ceiling. Then we're going to go into the Who's Bargain. I call that a bargain, the best I ever had. Because that was the best deal that they were ever going to get, was the one that Obama gave them with $3 trillion worth of cuts and $1 trillion in revenue raisers. And those revenue raisers, by the way, would have nothing to do with you or me or anybody that makes $250,000 or $1 million. It was to close corporate tax loopholes and lower the corporate tax rate to 25%, because if we would collect 25% of what's owed by corporations, we could wipe out our debt this year. Well, we couldn't wipe out our debt this year, but we would be well on our way to Instead, what do they want to do? They talk these stupid balanced budget amendments. And again, the numbers don't add up. Here's cut, cap, and balance. Cuts one, and I don't know where they came up with this number, but $111 billion in 2012. That's cut. Cap, 20%. They want to cap spending by the government at 20% of GDP. And then they want a balanced budget amendment. So if you're spending 20% of GDP, but you're only collecting 15% of GDP through revenues, that's what we get. 15% of GDP is collecting revenues, money in, and 20% out. Don't you have a 5% gap? And doesn't that require that you have to? Now, if you pass a constitutional amendment, then let's say we had one, you would have to raise taxes. Constitutionally, you would have to raise taxes. But you know they won't. So what will they do? Bye-bye Medicare. Bye-bye Social Security. Bye-bye disability. Bye-bye Medicaid. So what do we do with the old folks that are in the nursing home that are being paid for by Medicaid? Screw them. See, that's why they don't make any sense. This is the objection that most thinking people have with their plan.